Alright, we're back on this. And I'm going to do a little liquid leak down test on the valves. I'm going to pour a little gasoline around there, then check in the ports and see if it's leaking down the stems or not. I suspect at least the exhaust will, because that's where we were leaking air. Yes. It's not much more discouraging when it comes to working on things than having to undo your work. It seems to be holding. Yeah, I don't know then. Some pretty substantial wear in that guide. Seat looks good. This one's got a lot of carbon under it. Little play on that one, but not bad. And that bore looks perfect. You can see all the crosshatch in it still. There's no ridge whatsoever. That's bizarre. See if we can get a good shot on that. Showing up in the camera, but when I rock the crank back and forth, the valve is actually moving sideways. I realize I'm probably out of frame right now, but I just pulled the valve cover off. Okay, so I think what's going on is the push rods are spinning like they should when it comes up. Yeah, when it comes up it spins like it's supposed to, just a little, but since this guide has so much slop in it, it's just rocking it over. Well, the valve looks good. A little bit of carbon on this one, but not bad at all. There seems to be kind of excessive wear on that guide, considering it looks to be a low hour engine. That one's pretty carboned up. Still, the valves and seats look pretty good. That guide's probably a little dirty, but it's still tight. Yeah, I'm gonna go clean them up. one of the joys of getting other people's problems, especially if it has multiple problems, which this obviously had. So it's a terrible running because of the slop in this guide. Is it my new Chinese carburetor or my new Chinese coil? Unfortunately, I have so many symptoms with it popping and backfiring out of both the exhaust and the intake. We know our flywheel key is okay. I don't know. For the record, I strongly dislike valve stem keepers and flathead engines. The intake was easy because it's the traditional cap with the slot in it that you just move over and it locks in place. The exhaust has keepers like an automobile uses. I ended up having to lay the tiller on its side to feed those in there to get it in place. Well, just about ready to start it again. I got it all back together. Got fuel on the line. Just for fun, I'm gonna put a different plug in it. I don't know that I'm really gonna expect anything different, since all I did was clean the valves, clean the carbon off the valves. I'm wondering if it's possible for these things to jump time, like if the cam skipped a tooth, like the cam jumped a tooth, because it does almost sound like timing the way it's popping and cracking. I got to thinking about when I first got it started, and this thing shot out and nailed me in the chest. Well, when we started it up with the new carburetor in the previous clip, it did that too. Milder version of it, but it did snap back. And that sounds like an ignition issue. Yeah, I'm still trying to understand this thing. I know with the original carburetor it was popping and backfiring too, but I was assuming that was because of that messed up jet. It's still popping and backfiring, but it is idling, so the carburetor did make an improvement. Well, let's see what happens. That's the that little brush guard hitting on the recoil. Okay, that's weird. It actually did sound better that time. It did still pop some though. It is sounding better. Alright, I'm going to try it one more time, but I did just discover that I think I have another problem. Unless I'm doing something wrong. But when I went to engage the tines, they didn't move. And now I grab the tines by hand, and they seem to be seized. Something I should have checked from the beginning. So I may be tearing... maybe tearing something apart. I'll have to chase that down too. Alright. Okay, well, you might have saw, or at least noticed it jumping around. It freed itself up. Both high and low range are engaging. The tines are spinning. When I had it in reverse, though, it started to smoke that disc. But I think, yeah, if I remember right, when I repaired this system, I determined this was out of adjustment. If I recall correctly, I think I do have to readjust that. But nothing major is broken. So that's why there's no control on that choke. This just rides on that. Hopefully it's the same as the other one, so it will work. Well, that's good progress. Not 100% sure what I did. I must clean the valve after replacing the spark plug. But it sounds like the more it's running, it's clearing its throat and doing better, so I'm happy with that. So now I'll have to clean the fuel tank and mount it back up and probably run a new line to it. Reassemble the air filter system, but we're having progress. Okay, got part of the air cleaner assembly back on, but I do recall when I tore this apart, there was only one nut loosely holding it on, so I gotta get the rest of the hardware for it. And some hardware for that fuel tank. So this is going to wrap this up for a while. But at least it looks like the big stuff is done. And it is running. And it seems to be running better. Hopefully that improvement continues. And yes, the choke does work on this. I'm not sure if you can see in there. I can just make out the butterfly. but it closes it, holds it in place, then you open it to run. So that was the correct replacement carburetor for this, at least as far as that goes. And I'm real glad to see the tines moving. That had me kind of worried. So anyway, a lot of good progress. We're going to call it good for now. I got other irons in the fire, and it'll give me some time to round up the hardware to finish this up. So until next time, later. Thanks for watching.